here are the four main benefits of taking caffeine before you go to the gym. So number one would be it improves your performance. It gives you energy. Obviously, that's kind of the main one I would say. Like if you're waking up at, let's say, 5 a.m. or, it's early in the morning before you go to work or school, it'll just make you more, it'll wake you up, get you kind of in like that game mode, I like to call it. But yeah, it'll give you more, it increases your performance. So if you're extra tired one day, it'll just, it makes your time, I guess, in the gym more effective and more productive, I guess. And the number two benefit is, I actually found this kind of interesting. It reduces your perceived effort or exertion, like when you're doing an exercise. It's like if you're hitting a super heavy, like bench set, it'll make it seem slightly easier, which I have noticed by myself. Like on the days I normally take caffeine before I go to the gym, but on the days I don't take it, I have noticed my workouts usually aren't as good overall. Like when I'm leaving, I don't feel as like good about the effort I put in. Depends on the day, but yeah, it does definitely reduce your what you think, like how hard you think the weight will be or whatever. It gets you a little more like amped up, gets you going. And number three thing is it actually increases your metabolism, and it uses your fat as more like fuel. So if like you're going on a cut specifically, it'll make make it easier because you're losing fat as well as getting better. You're getting better workouts in consistently, and you have more energy. You're probably sweating more, honestly, because you're working harder. But yeah, I mean, right now I'm in a bulk, so I don't. It's not. I mean, I don't really want to lose fat necessarily, but yeah. And then number four, it increases your focus and alertness, which, I mean, all of you guys probably know that already. Like, this isn't just for the gym, but like in school, if you're trying to study for some test or whatever, like it wakes you up, makes you more alert, kind of gets you makes you more productive, obviously. So when you're that's probably one of the biggest ones. Everyone already kind of knows that, but it's good. And so, okay, the four main, I really only drink four different sources of caffeine. Yeah, four, I would say. I drink four. So what I recommend, kind of essential before I go to the gym, is I have this like bucked up, right now it's raspberry flavor, but I use my blender bottle and I'll put usually like half a scoop in there because it's 200 milligrams a scoop, the one I have. But I do half a scoop only because, I don't know, when I go to the doctor sometimes and they like do your blood pressure thing, like do that thing, usually my blood pressure is kind of like on the higher side. So I'm not even really that big of a caffeine guy in general. Like, I never really have been. And it does kind of run in the family, I think. I think my family does have like a kind of a blood issue, which is a little bit concerning, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, my blood pressure is usually like on the higher side. So I don't typically need as much to get kind of, like amped up for the gym or whatever. So I'll usually do like half a scoop of bucked up. And then the other three things are a V8, which I love V8s, I'm not gonna lie. Like, usually I actually have those like in school. Sometimes I'll bring them to the gym, but it's not that common, I would say. And then third, sometimes I dabble in the Red Bulls, but I don't know. I don't really have those that often. They're kind of, I don't know. Like, if I do have Red Bull, it's not like the the big Red Bulls. I usually go for like the smaller ones because, like I said, usually I don't need to drink that much caffeine to get amped up. But funny enough, at my job, this like British guy, he always like used to come in and just like randomly buy me Red Bulls because I'm in like the self checkout area at my store, and I don't know, this British guy comes in one day, he like looks at me, and I look over at him, and he's just like, "Hey, you want one of these?" And like he had like three. I think there's like a sale going on, but he brought me Red Bull, and then he came in like a few days later. I was in the same area. I looked over at him again because I was like, "Is that the same guy?" And yeah, he bought me another Red Bull. So yeah, I've seen that guy for a while, but that's like really the only time I really drink Red Bulls. I mean, kind of depends, like how I'm feeling that day. But yeah, and then the fourth thing, and caffeine source I drink, which is my favorite. It's coffee because I don't know, coffee is I just like how it's natural. It's not just like a bullshit like thing in a can. I don't know how to explain it, but coffee, I don't know. And I also feel like, on a weekend day, or, when I don't have to do anything in the morning, I'll just like wake up. Sometimes I'll drink a sip of coffee, or I'll have a cup of coffee. And I'm always like so regulated after that. I don't know. Coffee doesn't really actually get me that like hyper and stuff, but it's just my favorite. I don't know. I like the taste of it and stuff. But yeah. So those are the 4 main benefits of caffeine, and then the 4 things that I personally take in my everyday life. But yeah. Anyways, see you guys later. Stop doubting, start doing.